Congratulations. You found the Twin Cities Hit Show with Rusty, Courtney, and Chuck.
Very well. Where do I begin?
Well, what do you know? It's time to go. Listen to the Twin Cities Hit Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
Reach for this one.
And now, a real hit show, live from the Twin Cities.
What would you little maniacs like to do first?
It's the Twin Cities Hit Show.
Listen, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day!
It's hump day.
Hump day!
Let's get this hit show started.
So it's
hump day?
It's not Friday. Dang it! It's hump day.
It's Friday for me.
Oh, yeah? Why? How is it Friday? Oh, because you're going to be gone the next couple of days.
East, kids.
What are you doing?
Eau Claire?
Yeah.
Eau Claire, oh, yeah.
No, Hudson.
Not even as far as Eau Claire.
I quit.
Be sure to change it.
I hear they have great clam chowder in Hudson. I'm going to Hudson for the clam chowder.
What's in Hudson? A comedy show?
No, I'm going to Boston.
Oh, you're going to Boston.
Going
What's
to
in Boston?
Clam chowder.
Clam
chowder. I'm going to have some clam chowder.
It's a wicked wama. You better wear your shots.
Are we overmodulating again, or is it my headset?
Oh, I don't know.
Overmodulation.
In my dreams, you overmodulate, Rusty.
It
Gates.
sounds okay to me, but here,
Okay.
I can
All
turn
right.
you
No,
down.
that's fine.
Are you okay?
So you missed the marathon.
Yeah, damn it.
You just going to run it anyway? You're just
no.
going to go, oh, shoot, I had it wrong on the calendar?
I'm going to come back so bloated from comfort food, fish and chips, clam chowder, beer.
That's your comfort food?
And depravity that I will...
A marathon of joy.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds good. So it's just a vacation?
Just a vacay.
And
nice.
Why Boston?
Yeah.
I've only been to Boston once, and it was time.
I've never been.
I want to go. It's wicked. It's wicked good.
It's Wicked Brill.
Wicked Brill.
Do they say Wicked Brill,
I don't
or
know.
is that an English thing?
I'm going to become a Southie and rob banks.
Mm-hmm. You're going to become a masshole.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
A masshole. That's a real thing.
Yeah, so it's my
What
Friday.
is it?
It's an asshole from Massachusetts.
Yeah. I was with you.
Masshole.
Speaking of massholes, it didn't happen today, but I thought the show needed a PSA because of Courtney's morning routine here at the office.
You would not believe the motherload I just dropped. And that's how I like to keep it. Leaving not a trace that I was ever here, let alone that I just birthed a creamy behemoth from my cavernous bowels. Nothing is worse than stinking up the shared toilet at work, or the toilet at a party, or your lover's apartment. Of course, flushing removes the graphic evidence. Maybe 2 or 3 flushes if your skid marks are as tenacious as mine. But what can be done of that subtle scent of a 300-cow dairy farm? Aerosol air fresheners aren't the most effective option, or the healthiest. Trying to mask the stench, giving you a nice blend of ChemLab carnations with just a touch of feces. So, how do you make the world believe your poop doesn't stink? Or in fact that you never poop at all? Poopery. Poopery is the before-you-go toilet spray that is
Write this down,
those
Courtney.
embarrassing odors at the source.
Poopery.
And
I have had a bottle of
Simply
poopery
spritz in the
Yes.
bowl.
since I moved to Minnesota because one of my friends from New York gave me a gift basket. He worked for a place that made gift baskets for celebrities for like big events, and he gave me one of these gift baskets, and it included a bottle of poopery. So I have had it. I've had like a sample thing of it, and I have kept it this whole time, even though it's empty, because it is just a hilarious, adorable little bottle.
Little label on it.
Yeah, it's so great. But yes, it works. It works.
No.
I'm not saying
It
there's
doesn't. I don't see any results. Of,
Do you spray it before you poo? Because
we're not talking about me, Courtney.
Oh, well, I don't use it here, you guys. You think?
Yeah, I noticed you don't use it here. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Do
I come in and
listeners know that I drop a deuce every day before
They
the
do
show?
now.
She's regular. She's regular.
I'm super regular. I am
Thanks.
so grateful for that.
Yeah, thank you, Courtney's bowels. Thank you.
Happy Earth Day, everybody.
Speaking
Happy
of which,
Earth Day!
ashes to ashes.
We are all part of the great cycle, the circle of life.
In 1969, a conference in San Francisco, peace activist John McConnell proposed the day to honor the Earth. the concept of peace to be the first celebrated March 21st, 1970. So there you go. We've been celebrating Earth Day since 1970. Is that?
Oh, go ahead.
Is that where the peace sign came from? Where did the peace sign? No, that was probably before. That
I
was
think,
the
well, because before peace was like, it used to be victory in World War II, didn't it? It was a
that
V
symbol
for
with
victory.
the
Oh,
lines,
you're talking about the
circle.
Mercedes-Benz with the extra line?
Yeah, the peace
symbol.
symbol.
Yeah, I don't know. Perhaps. Maybe we should Google that, because I bet the internet would know.
Well,
I'll do it.
I want everyone to hug a tree today.
Flush. If by tree you mean Chuck Gollop, I recommend it.
Try not to flush twice unless you're coordinated. That 3 times, please.
It was, the first peace badge was made in ceramic in 1958 for the Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament.
Oh.
So.
God, it looks so... Wow, in the 50s that was done. It looks very 70s.
Right?
It's very peaceful.
Yeah. It's very peaceful. But Earth Day, okay, so do you guys know the song by Dramarama, What Are We Gonna Do? And it came out in the early 90s, and it goes, it's April 21st, and everybody knows today is Earth Day. But it always made me so confused, because he says April 21st, and everybody knows the 22nd is April.
Maybe he's a planner.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
He's
just
ahead.
preemptively saving the Earth.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Earth Day, John Oliver did a bit about the end of the world. And CNN actually has a video prepared for the end of the world. Check this out.
That's
Let's turn to some lighter news, the end of the world. The news is constantly full of potential causes, whether it's nuclear Armageddon or environmental destruction. But as we learned earlier this year, one news network has actually planned what they'll show during humanity's final moments.
If this is ever on CNN, it means the world is coming to an end.
It's called Turner Doomsday Video, something Ted Turner actually produced in the early days of CNN to air on Doomsday when the world's ending. The video restriction even says, quote, hold for release till end of the world confirmed.
Oh, that's great, CNN. So you're going to wait till the end of the world to actually confirm something. But look, I'll admit, I'm intrigued by this. I'm intrigued by the idea. So tell me, what is the last thing CNN wants all of us to see?
It's a marching band playing Closer to God.
That's it? A band playing a slow dirge? Although, to be fair, when the world ends, it would be comforting to look at any marching band and think, well, at least they'll all die too. Just as a side note, if the music they were playing rings a bell, there might be a reason for that.
In the video, the Armed Forces marching bands play Nearer My God to Thee.
Nearer My God
the
to Thee.
hymn that, as legend has it, was played as the Titanic sank.
Whoa. That was not the music that played when the Titanic sank. This was. Yes. The last thing those drowning people heard was some sort of French-Canadian space mermaids. That's a fact. That's a history fact.
That's a
Space mermaid.
John Oliver, by the way, was honored last night as one of Time Magazine's People of the Year.
Oh, yeah?
So congratulations to
that's
John
great.
Oliver. Now, speaking of end of the world, our own Michelle Bachmann was on the radio yesterday. She was talking about the end of the world. OMG. Strap in for 2 minutes of Michelle Bachmann on this Earth Day talking about end of times.
We need to realize how close this clock is to getting toward the midnight hour. And I think that's why, for our sake, for the sake of our family, for our nation, for the next generations, we need to cry out to a holy God. This is coming faster than anyone can see. I know I worked very hard on the Intelligence Committee to try and keep up with what was happening in the world. It got to such a crescendo, I could hardly keep up with it anymore. The events have picked up such a pace, and are going to continue. It's just like the Bible forewarned, that in the last days it will be like the beginning of birth pangs. In my opinion, we are far beyond the beginning of birth pangs.
All right, you follow what she's saying?
Oh, my God. I was on the Senate Intelligence Arms Committee, so I have credibility when I tell you, Jesus
She's comparing the end of the world. We're about to give birth to the end of the world. Oh, it gets crazier. Hold on.
Moving far down into the process. For women who are listening to this show today, you know what I'm talking about. What it's like to deliver a baby at the very beginning stage and then at the very end before the baby is born. All I can tell you as a mom who has given birth to 5 babies, the birth pangs are very close together. They're very intense now. And we are
She's
literally
making a metaphor with no basis whatsoever.
Courtney gives birth to something in the toilet every morning.
Month by month,
I'll tell you, I
the
know what she's talking
speed move up to a level we've never seen before with these events. Barack Obama is intent. It is his number one goal to ensure that Iran has a nuclear weapon. Why? Why would you put the nuclear weapon in the hands of madmen?
Whoa. No, the question is, why would you say such a
preposterous
falsehood?
She's always done that. In every speech she has done in years, she always said, Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
His number one goal is to give Iran a nuclear weapon. That's not it. It gets better.
Islamic radicals who believe it's their religious duty to bomb Israel and to bomb the United States. That is where we're headed right now. And that's why the best thing that we can do is have churches and pastors explain our times. Believers need to get our lives right with God. And then we intercede. We intercede and intercede. And then not despair, but rejoice that we get to be living in the most exciting time in history. Prophets said we look to the future. We long to see those days and
want to see the end of the
days.
world.
Why? Because it's the return of a soon and coming King. Jesus Christ is coming back.
Jesus Christ.
We, in our lifetimes, potentially could see Jesus Christ returning to earth, the rapture of the church. This is one of the most exciting times in history. We need to be exactly watching the tenor of the times, be observing, and look up our redemption draweth nigh. These are wonderful times, but we see
because the world is ending.
But this is a destruction that was foretold.
That's right, it starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes and airplanes. Lenny Bruce is not ashamed. Same something. I have a hurricane, listen to yourself.
She was an elected official in the most powerful nation in the world.
Like the head of the Senate Arms Committee.
And at one point was in the lead for presidential nomination for the Grand Old Party.
You know what I would do if I heard her saying this crap? I would send her on a 72-hour hold. She has lost her shit.
Yeah.
We're supposed to, the end of the world is happening, nuclear, but we should be happy.
Yeah.
Because we'll see Jesus as our families are burning in hell.
This makes me angry. This one makes me angry.
Happy Earth Day, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Because you know why?
It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the time
I had some time alone. I had some time alone.
I thought people from Minnesota were rational, nice.
Well, yeah.
People are.
You need
people
to embrace
are
Jesus
people.
Christ as your personal savior,
She won
Rusty.
re-election.
Yeah, she was almost a president. She was so close.
Oh, yeah, she
and
was
there's some
really
campaign
close to
finance
that.
problems, and her husband with the gay conversion and whatnot. But I think she has a rational platform, and I would vote for her in a heartbeat.
I can't even give anything that she says credence at all. Does that
Happy
make
Earth
any
Day,
sense?
everybody. Happy Earth Day.
For the love of God.
Sun's out. There's leaves on the branches.
You know what?
It's not that bad, Michelle.
She makes me want to take a crap.
This has got to destroy any chance of her being a viable political candidate.
Well, I think she's done running. She's taken a page from Sarah Palin. Now she wants to be a professional speaker.
Oh.
Well, there,
and an
fine.
expert.
Go
and
talk
an
in a
analyst
church in a
and,
basement, you
Let
twat.
let her talk.
Where was that?
It was some spiritual radio station.
Oh.
Yeah,
No.
some God station.
Oh, well, she was just talking to them. Normally, she's fine.
Oh, yeah, no, she was preaching to the choir, literally.
Yeah.
But still, it just amazes me that that's her voice. That is what she's thinking.
Yeah.
The end of the world is about to happen, and we should be happy.
Well, if you're just enjoying a good rapture, yeah, I think you would just have a really fun time.
Yeah. No. Here we go.
Coming at you, my blondie. It's Rapture.
How well timed was that, Rusty Gate? Me.
Hey, our guest is here.
Who? Oh my God! Hi.
This is Rana May, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Rana. How are you?
Is that your real name?
It is.
That's an awesome name.
Well, I have a different last name that I don't use because of social work and comedy.
See, so it's not your real name.
Because of her work in the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
In the community.
Yeah.
Witness protection.
Yeah, a little bit of that. A little bit of that.
Harboring.
Rana is not only a comedian, but she works in social work as well.
Yeah.
And helps people.
Yeah.
And is a very upstanding citizen.
I save millions of lives every day.
You're upstanding as
You're a
shit.
superhero.
Yeah. I could say that personally. I mean, you reached out to me when I was
Can
in
you
the
reach out to Michelle Bachmann? Can you help her in any way?
No, nobody can help her.
Could you reach out and punch her or strangle her?
I mean, she's somebody who needs a lot of
help.
A lot of intense therapy for a really long time.
Could we preach the gay out of her?
Yeah.
In your opinion?
I'm just like, I'm alarmed that she had so many foster children. Like, how many, especially,
She said she gave birth to 5, and then, she was a foster mom to
like
1,700.
See, it's like
your
people.
number's probably closer.
It's people like her that are like because I'm sure that she's very pro-life. She's very
No.
anti-abortion.
That's what the alarming thing is.
And it's like, and then she raises children, and those children are going to be fucked up for life.
Well, I mean, what percentage of runaways and people that fall into the foster system as children are gay? And then
Yeah,
to
right.
have her and her
Yeah.
like preachy
Yeah.
conversion therapy
I think
foster
she's.
dad-ish.
I bet as mom, she's like Lois Jurgens. You know, the
I don't-
Death and White Bear Lady, the
Oh.
borderline
who's
person.
that?
I don't know that.
The death. Oh God, you guys never read that book? This
No.
controlling foster mother who had borderline personality and was involved in a big police cover-up in the 50s.
Joan
They did-
Crawford?
Yeah, it's a similar story.
No, why Haggis?
And they wrote a book about it and they did a movie about it, Death in White Bear Lake.
Huh.
Yeah, that title
Do you-
rings familiar.
Yeah.
Do you read a lot of crime
No,
novels
I
and
don't.
stuff?
I actually don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just curious.
Yeah.
Like now that you're not
Oh
a
God,
police
screw
officer
that.
anymore, if you're like, all I want to do is watch CSI. I miss it so much.
I watch Cops every day. This didn't even happen. His shirt's still on. This is bullshit.
Well, enjoy the day. It's Happy Earth Day. Now, last night, Courtney's other boyfriend was on Letterman. Paul Rudd was on
About 30 years ago, when you first started the show,
All right, I love
back when the Royals were in the World Series, I joined the David Letterman fan club.
Oh, no, I remember the David Letterman fan club, and we had to issue a cease and desist order.
I figured you had nothing to do
because it did not have anything to do with us.
Well, that's probably good because it was a terrible fan club. What it included was a pin, a collapsible drinking cup, a sponge that if you put in water would grow.
It would expand.
I'm assuming it said put in water, see what happens. A back scratcher and a balloon.
Whoa! And you're saying it was a lousy fan club?
The worst. No newsletter, no photos. And anyway,
Well, we did. We had to shut it down.
I appreciated the random nature of it. I figured you had nothing to do with it. However, now that we're just a few weeks out, I have never told you this.
Well, that's very nice of you.
I have kept my member of my David Letterman fan club.
So he brings out the button. He brings out the sponge. And then they throw it in a thing of water, and the sponge actually works. It expands in water.
What does it turn into, though? What's the
It
shape?
just gets bigger. It's
just like a square sponge?
Yeah, that grows.
It's like a wart.
It doesn't say David Letterman on it or anything?
Oh, yeah, no, it does. Yeah, it says David
okay.
Letterman
okay.
and all that stuff. But
you can still clean your toilet with it?
yes.
That's amazing.
So you need one of those.
I do.
You
'cause
use a
my
sponge in your toilet?
Toilet needs... I
Here's,
use a scrub brush.
Here's proof of Courtney's love.
Oh, my God.
I am going to give you a
Oh, wait,
choice.
that's not what I wanted.
Oh,
I had your song.
Oh.
You have a Paul Rudd song.
I do have a Paul Rudd song.
Damn it.
Oh.
Oh, well. Dirty Curls. Look it up. She's got a Paul Rudd song. If you're under 18, do not look at the video. In fact, plug your ears. Don't look it up. Have you seen the video of her Paul Rudd song?
No.
How would you explain it?
It basically
There's some
is like...
blowjobs. There's some sexing. There's
No. Oh, yeah. No, I guess that's true. There's there's an insinuated blowjob in a car. And then, there's some naughty business in a bed. But it's all done, with off-camera.
Let's do it.
There it is.
Mr. Paul Rudd.
And then, so basically the story is that I go to a bar and find a guy. I find Paul Rudd. and have him. He buys me drinks and gets me drunk and takes me home. And then at the end of the song, it's like, oh, you're not Paul Rudd.
That's like the joke. What's the worst thing about blowing Willie Nelson?
What?
When he tells you, I'm not Willie Nelson. Hey-oh.
Honestly, if you're under 18, it's probably like the most healthy thing you're going to see sexually.
Yeah, right? Thank you, Raina. Thank you.
God.
That's one of my goals, is that even though I might be...
Damn liberals.
not appropriate, quote unquote, I'm sex positive and pushing that stuff.
Speaking of music, I'm excited. Next week, the HBO, God, they keep coming with great projects. Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
Documentary.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
Who are you?
Oh, Jesus.
Who are you, Kurt? I'm Kurt Cobain.
Starts with childhood. Yeah.
I was underdeveloped,
lot of
immature
never
little
before
dude that
seen
never got
video
laid.
and interviews,
Oh, poor little kid.
including, because I'm a Beatle fan, there's an unreleased song that just came out, and he was quoted as saying, I love the Beatles, but I hate Paul McCartney. So they found this cassette that he sang to Frances Bean, and it's a Paul McCartney song he's singing. And I love her. So it's a horrible recording, but wait till he starts singing. So he may have said he hated Paul McCartney, but he sings Paul McCartney to his
Singing
kids.
Paul McCartney. Oh.
Anyway, that's coming out
He's mad
next
that Paul
week.
McCartney got out alive.
Everyone is.
Oh,
Not everyone.
Oh my God,
Not
Raina.
everyone.
Really?
You don't like Paul McCartney?
I mean, it just seems like among most of my friend group, he's the least respected Beatle.
Really?
Yeah.
Because what?
Is that do you think that's been a degrading thing over the past few years because he's still going?
I mean, it could be a combination of that and the music he made after the Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
Or,
Wings.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
alive.
He had some good songs with
He's-
Wings.
yeah.
Maybe I'm amazed.
He didn't die soon enough to fuck up his life. He fucked up his life.
Yeah.
Have you done any research on the history of the Beatles?
No.
They will tell you he's the driving force of why there's all those albums. He was the one
Yeah.
who
Mhm.
kept them together.
Yeah,
And
Raina.
he's the one who saved them from the
Now what,
lawsuits.
Raina?
As a group, I'm sure he balanced it out perfectly.
You'd be a good politician. You should run for office.
Yeah. Me and
Do you
Michelle
like Jesus?
Bachman.
I think a lot of people hate on Paul because they think that's the cool thing to do in the crowd.
Oh, boy.
And John Lennon seemed like the cooler dude to love.
But I heard he was a big old narcissist.
He
and
was.
like kind of a sociopath.
John
he
Lennon?
was.
No
John
way.
Lennon. He had many dick qualities, as Julian Lennon.
Yeah. I love having not really any strong opinions about the Beatles. I love Paul McCartney because I love that as he was the driving force behind the Beatles, even with Wings, even if it's a shitty thing, it's something that he did and he was like, well, this is what I put out there and not everybody's going to do great shit. You know?
I think we should get it out before the rapture. Any music that's out there before the rapture is really a positive thing.
Because when Jesus comes back,
Yeah.
it's going to be
You'll
the
be judged
the
based on your
happiest
music,
day.
Courtney McLean.
Do you think Paul McCartney's going to go to heaven?
I think we're all going to go to heaven. I don't think I do. I don't think there's a hell.
Are you sure we're not here now?
Oh, Raina.
hell.
In this studio? This
thi-
is heaven.
Is this heaven?
Totally heaven,
No, it's
guys.
the
Totally
Twin
heaven.
Cities hit show. You know what I also love? They say for every Paul McCartney and John Lennon, there may have been hundreds of others with equal talent who never got discovered.
Mhm.
It's just the breaks, but they certainly proved their talent in that 10 years. Here's a video I stumbled across. I don't know if you've seen it. When you go to airports and there's a piano, and this dude just sat down at a Japan airport and started doing this. There's a little carry-on next to him. He's like, oh, I got a couple minutes to kill.
If I could play the
Isn't that
piano
awesome?
like that, I would do that too. Yeah.
And suddenly a crowd's, and then when he's done, he just picks up his bag and goes on to his flight. I love that.
Yeah.
I'd love to be that guy.
Yeah.
And the $7 he got in tips, he could buy drinks with.
No, there was no tips. He was just killing time. But anyway, so there you go.
Nice.
So we heard about Ben Affleck. He had to do a
No.
mea culpa overnight.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, for what?
Well, not really. Oh.
Yeah, I did.
Overnight, like it was an emergency.
Yeah, well, for his PR.
He paid a lot of money to FedEx that shit.
Here's a bit of the story.
The Sony hack strikes again. Allegedly, Ben Affleck's white guilt forced him to ask PBS to not reveal that he has a slave-owning ancestor. Now, this was all for an episode of a show on PBS called Finding Your Roots. And Ben's episode aired actually already in September 2014. And thanks to North Korea and WikiLeaks, who published a stash of the emails last week that North Korea, of course, hacked from Sony. Now anyone can search those. And one of those emails revealed an exchange between PBS and Harvard scholar Henry Louis Gates and Sony Pictures co-chairman and chief executive Michael Linton. And this is what went down there. Gates wrote, "Here's my dilemma.